Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Caritāmrta class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunvilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Srī Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Caritāmrta Madhya class. We are continuing our discussion from Madhya lila. We are in chapter 16, the Lord's attempt to go to Vrindavan. So far, we have heard many wonderful pastimes of the Lord. In this chapter, we heard Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He is he planned to go to Vrindavan. He was stopped by Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and they told, please stay for some time. That's how they kept delaying the Lord. And then after 2 years, somehow they gave permission to the Lord. In between, wonderful dealings of Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu with his devotees are described. The interactions with Advaita Acharya, the order which Mahaprabhu gave to Nityananda Prabhu, Prati Varshe Nilachala Tumina Siva, Gaudarahi Moraicha Safala Koribo. Then his wonderful talks with Kulinagram devotees. Every year they would ask one question, who is a Vaishnava? Mahaprabhu, he described various levels of devotees, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. Then the wonderful sweet pastime of Pundarik Vidyanidhi being slapped by Lord Jagannath because he raised a question, why starched cloth is offered to Jagannathji by the worshippers. Then ultimately Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Ramananda Rai, they give permission. यद्यपि स्वतंत्र प्रभु नहे निवारण भक्त इच्छा बिना प्रभु ना करे गमन. Supreme independent Lord, he is controlled by the love of his devotees. He leaves for Vrindavan ultimately after 4 years. Goes to various places, ultimately reaches Katak. That is the kingdom, that's capital of Prataprudra Maharaj. Prataprudra is so very excited, overwhelmed with love and ecstasy, welcomes him, makes all the wonderful arrangements. He gives orders to all his government officers. Wherever Mahaprabhu goes, he should be provided with wonderful staying facility, all the prasad, and wherever Mahaprabhu takes bath, please make a memorial column there. And Prataprudra says, I will bathe there and I want to die there. That was the devotion of Prataprudra. Ultimately, Mahaprabhu leaves. Gadadhar Pandit was still traveling with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu stops him. You are not following your Kshetra sannyas vow and your service to Tota Gopinath, your dharma and karma. Prabhu lagi dharma karma chhade bhakta gana, bhakta dharma ichha Prabhu na hoye sahan. Mahaprabhu sends him back. Gadadhar Pandit falls unconscious. Sarvam Bhattacharya takes him. Then Mahaprabhu leaves. As he reaches the end of the kingdom of Prataprudra, the government officers, they tell Mahaprabhu, the kingdom ahead belongs to the Muslim king. Let's make some peace negotiations and then you can continue. The Muslim governor came to know a great prophet has come, and just by hearing the glories of Mahaprabhu, he becomes attracted. He comes and ultimately surrenders his life to Mahaprabhu, becomes such a wonderful devotee. He requests, can I do some service? Mukundatta tells that yes, please arrange for Mahaprabhu's passage through this state of yours. He personally comes with his soldiers and escorts Mahaprabhu. Ultimately, Mahaprabhu reaches Panihati, and at the end of the capital, governor, Muslim king, he stops. He offers obeisances. One of the officers, he was with him till Panihati. He also stops there. Mahaprabhu gives him his personal cloth. Then from Panihati, Mahaprabhu travels to many places and visits the house of many devotees. Srivas Thakur at Kumar Hatta, Shivananda Sen as Kachadapara, then Vasudeva Datta house. Then he visits Vidya Vachaspati at Vidyanagar. Then Kuliagram, he visits Madhav Das. Then comes to Shantipur and meets with Advaita Acharya. Again, he goes to Ramakeli, and from there he goes to Ramakeli, meets with Srup Sanatan, comes back to Shantipur. In Shantipur, we heard a wonderful discussion, the meeting of Raghunath Das Goswami with Mahaprabhu, where Mahaprabhu gave instructions. Phir hoiya ghar yao na ho batul, krame krame pai lok bhav sindhu pool. Please don't be impatient. से चले से काले कृष्ण स्फुरबे तो मारे कृष्ण कृपाए जारे तारे के राखी ते पारे. In due course of time, Krishna will reveal how you can come to me. Mahaprabhu leaves. We'll continue from verse number 245. Mahaprabhu, he is now at Shantipur. He would be always surrounded by devotees, headed by Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu. And he spent some days there, 10 days. Then ultimately he gave permission. He took permission from Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu and returns to Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu, that year he requested all the devotees, please don't come to Jagannath Puri this year because you have already met. All the devotees, they would come to Jagannath Puri just to meet Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu tells, please don't come to Jagannath Puri this year because we have already met. Taha hoite avashyami Vrindavan jab sab agya deh tabe nirvigna asiba. Throughout the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, he is consistently showing one thing, how one should depend on the mercy of devotees. Supreme Lord, by his own example, he is showing wherever he goes, he asks permission. Please praise. So here also he is saying, I shall go to Vrindavan from Jagannath Puri, and if you give permission, I will return here. I want to go from Jagannath Puri to Vrindavan. On the way, I'll again come here. Sab agya deha tabe nirvigna asiva. If you all give me your permission, I shall again come here without difficulty. So this mood of dependence on the devotees, that is consistent. That is what Lord is showing in many of his pastimes. Whoever he may be, Supreme Lord is himself showing how a devotee should depend on other devotees. However big one may be, one should never feel now, I don't need much of the blessings of devotees, or maybe only senior devotees. Junior devotees, what is the need of taking blessings from them? Every devotee is important. Every devotee who is sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, in whichever ashram they may be, we should take their blessings. छोटा बड़ा भक्तगण बंधु सभा श्री चरण सबे मोरे पर हसंतोष श्री रूपा गोसाइयत रूप रघुनाथ जानियत ताई लिखी नाही मोर दोष. Viraj Goswami says, Chota Bada Bhaktagan, he is seeking blessings from all the devotees of Vrindavan. Chota Bhaktagan, Bada Bhaktagan. Bandho Sabha Sri Charan, I offer my obeisances unto everyone. Please be merciful to me. Sabe More Karaha Santosh, then only I'll be able to write this Caitanya Caritāmrta. Before beginning any seva, while doing the seva, and after the seva is over, one should take blessings of devotees. There is no substitute. It comes in Bhagavatam 4th canto. Dhruv Maharaj, he is about to leave for Vaikuntha. Nanda Sunanda has come in Vaikuntha airplane, and they are congratulating that nobody in your dynasty has achieved the position which you have achieved. This Vaikuntha Viman is waiting for you. Please come. And he speaks such nicely. But Dhruv Maharaj, for him, it was like nectar dripping from their mouths. Nishamya Vaikuntha Niyojya Mukhyayo Madhuchutam Vacha Murukrama Priya. Madhuchuta, just Madhu, honey was dripping. But very important, what he did. Just imagine this scenario. If morning you are sitting for chanting and Vaikuntha Viman comes, Ananda Sunanda, they tell, oh great devotee, please board the train, board the flight. Now we have to go to spiritual world. You are sitting with so many devotees chanting and the Vaikuntha plane comes for you. What will be our natural response? One may be excited and immediately board the plane. Hari Bo. You know what Dhruva did? Nishamya Vaikuntha Niyojya Mukhyayo Madhuchutam Vacha Murukrama Priya. Kritabhisheka Kritanitya Mangalo Munin Pranamya Shishamabhyavadayat. Krita Abhisheka. He did the Abhishek of the deities. Then morning rituals. Kritanitya Mangala. He did his morning rituals. He did his chanting. He didn't say, अब क्या जरूरत है सब करने का? Now I'm going back to spiritual world. No. Krita Abhisheka, Krita Nitya Mangalo. And most important thing he did was Munin Pranamya Shishamabhyavadayat. He went to all the devotees who had assembled there and he took blessings from them. That is very, very powerful. So the greatest devotee who is going to spiritual world, he is taking blessings from every sadhaka. All the great sages, they are not going. He is going to Vaikuntha, but still he is taking blessings from the devotees. Because the devotee always feels whatever I have received is by the mercy of the devotees. So throughout Bhagavatam, throughout Caitanya Caritāmrta, this mood of dependence on devotees is consistent. So Mahaprabhu is showing here again and again, seeking blessings. And it will come in this section again, how Lord is so much conscious of taking blessings of devotees. So Mahaprabhu falls at the feet of Shachi Mata and requests for her permission. Please allow me to go to Vrindavan. And then she gives permission. Shachi Mata goes back to Navadvip. All the devotees and Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, they start for Jagannath Puri, Nilachal. On the way, all the devotees who are with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are rendering various services to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are also very happy, blissful to be with Mahaprabhu. And in that great happiness, they ultimately reached Jagannath Puri. As soon as Mahaprabhu reached Jagannath Puri, he went to visit the temple of Jagannath. The news spread immediately. Mahaprabhu aila lok kolahala huila. It was a great, you know, great commotion. Everybody is running to have darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All came and met in great happiness. Mahaprabhu embraced each of them in ecstatic love. The very, very senior devotees, associates of the Lord, Kashi Mishra, Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Shikhi Mahiti, Pradyumna, they all came, they met Mahaprabhu. Many other devotees, they came. Mahaprabhu embraced them. Gadadhar Pandit also came. Now the conversation between Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit is very, very wonderful. Gadadhar Pandit, as he came and met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu was so happy. In front of everyone, he started speaking. It was my decision to go to Vrindavan through Bengal. And I thought I'll see my mother and I'll see Mother Ganga also. But when I went, thousands of devotees began to follow me wherever I go. Laksha laksha loko aise kautuke dekhite lokera sanghata patha napari chalite. Lakhs and lakhs of people were coming to see me out of curiosity. You know, many times out of curiosity, people come. Who has come? Who has come? He's also going. He's also going. I'll also go. So laksha laksha lok aise dekhite kautuka dekhite. And Mahaprabhu said, I could not even travel freely on the road. It was so very difficult. It was so very crowded. Indeed, Mahaprabhu is saying the crowd was so large. You know, the place where I was staying, they destroyed the boundary wall. They destroyed the house where I was staying. So many people wanted to have darshan of Mahaprabhu. So therefore, with great difficulty, I went to Ramakeli. I met Rup and Sanatan Goswami there. And what type of great devotees Rup and Sanatan were. Mahaprabhu is glorifying Rup and Sanatan in such wonderful words. Dui bhai bhakt raja Krishna kripa patra vyavahare rajamantri hoye rajapatra. These two brothers, Dui bhai Bhaktaraj, they are the greatest devotees. And Krishna Kripa Patra, they are recipients of Krishna's mercy. How Mahaprabhu understood they are recipients of Krishna's mercy? He will reveal in the next verse. He says, Dui Bhai Bhaktaraja Krishna Kripa Patra Vyavahare Rajamantri, in their general dealings, they are government officials. Rupa Goswami was the finance minister. Sanatana Goswami was prime minister. But ordinary dealing, Vyavahare Rajamantri, Hoy Rajapatra, they are such great government officials. But what was their attitude? Vidya, Bhakti, Buddhi, Bole, Parama Praveen, Tabu Apanake Mane Trina Hoitehin. This is the quality which attracted Mahaprabhu's attention. That is the only thing which is required to get mercy of the Lord. Vidya, Bhakti, Buddhi, Bala. In terms of knowledge, intelligence, devotion, and strength. Everything material and spiritual, they were the best. Parama Praveen, they're expert. But Tabu Apana ke mane trina hoite him, but still they would consider them lower than a blade of grass. This attracts the attention of the Lord. Nothing else pleases the Lord. What can impress the Lord? How can somebody impress the Lord? You can impress somebody if the person doesn't have what you have. God has everything in full. How can you impress the Lord? What touches the Lord is humility. Vidya, Bhakti, Buddhi bole Parama Praveen Tapu apna ke mane trina hoite. This humble devotion attracts the attention of the Lord. Tara dainya dekhi shuni pashane vidare ami tushto hoya tabe kahilu duhare. Tara dainya dekhi, they were so humble. Their humility would melt stones. What was the humility of Rup Sanatan? They were the best in everything. They were expert government officers, wonderful devotees, expert in various languages, Parsi, Arabic, Sanskrit, everywhere they were best. But very Tara Dainya Dekhi Shuni Pashana Vidare. Their humility could even melt stone. And because I was very pleased with them, I told them something. We have heard about the humility of Rup Sanatan Goswami in the first chapter of Madhya lila. When they came in front of Mahaprabhu, they came in ordinary dress and they fell at the feet of Mahaprabhu. Bamon oiche chand dharite chahe kore aiche yei mancha more uthaye antare. We are like dwarf, and the desire to have your mercy is like a dwarf desiring to touch the moon. We are so fallen. नीच जाति नीच संगीत परी नीच काज तोमारो अग्रते प्रभु कहते बसिलाश. We are so fallen, insignificant, doing abominable activities. We are ashamed to stand in front of you. But our only hope is you are merciful. पतित पावन हेतु तब अवतार मौसम पतित प्रभु ना पाई बेयार. You are so merciful and we are most fallen. You gave mercy to Jagai Madhai. In delivering Jagai Madhai, you didn't have to exert yourself much because they had so many good qualities. Brahman jati tar navadi pe ghar niche seva nahi kore nahi niche rakur pare. They had their house in Navadip, they were Brahmanas, they never served Malechas. And look at us, Brahman, Malecha jati, Malecha sevi, kori Malecha karma, go Brahmana drohi sangye amara sangama. We are serving Malecha, we have become Malecha, associating with them. That was the humility of Rup Sanatana Goswami. And that's why there also Mahaprabhu, he initiates them. Aji se dohara naam Rupa Sanatan dainya chhad dainya tomar phate moraman. The first instruction Mahaprabhu gives to Rup Sanatan after initiating them, give up your humility. For us, it is the other way around. The instruction is given, become humble servant. They were so humble. That's what he is saying here. Tara dainya dekhi shuni pashana vidare ami tushto hiya tabe kahilu duhare. So therefore I spoke. I told them something. उत्तम হইয়া হীন করি মানহ আপনারে অচিরে করিবে তোমার অচিরে করিবে কৃষ্ণ তোমার উদ্ধারে because you are such great devotee uttam hoiya heen kari you are such great devotees but you are thinking yourself to be so very low uttam hoiya heen kari manah apnare. This is the quality which will attract the mercy of the Lord. Achire koribe Krishna tomaro uddhare. That is the secret of success. However great one may be, become humble. Prabhupada writes, such are the qualifications of a pure devotee. One may be materially very opulent, experienced, influential, and educated. But one should always consider oneself lower than the straw in the street. Not the blade of grass. Prabhupada is writing a straw in the street. The blade of grass has some chance to again stand. Straw in the street, no chance. Prabhupada writes the example of Prataparudra Maharaj. Because he took the humble position of cleaning the road in front of Lord Jagannath, he took the broom. That attracted the mercy of the Lord. Mahaprabhu noticed that this Prataparudra, he has become humble. And Bali Maharaj, when he gave up everything, surrendered to Vamanadev, ultimately was sent to Sutal. So Vamanadev tells a very beautiful verse there. Janma karma vayo rupa vidya aishwarya dhanadipi yadi yasya na bhavet sambha tatrayam madanugrahat. If somebody has high birth, fruit, good activities, good karma, youthful body, beautiful body, vidya, education, wealth, aishwarya, dhan, fame, opulence. If somebody has all this, but still he is humble, yadi yasya na bhavet stambha, if he is not proud, you should understand that this person has received my mercy. Tatrayam mad anugraha. Otherwise, it is not possible. So, we should aspire to get mercy of the Lord, and it begins with becoming humble. And the more we show that we want to get mercy and we become humble, Krishna shows that mercy more. In the beginning, it may look a little artificial to behave humbly. But when we endeavor to become humble, then Krishna awards real humility. Prabhupada writes, according to Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions, a devotee should never be puffed up. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports in Bhagavatam, first canto, 15th chapter, where Arjun, when he returns from Dwaraka, he could not save the wives of Krishna, they were kidnapped. He says, I'm the same warrior, same Gandiva, same arrows, same horses, same chariot. Still, everything has become null and void because Krishna has taken away all my powers. Krishna is gone, and along with him, all my powers are gone. Tadvai dhanushtai shava rato hayaste soham rathi nipataya tadanamanti sarvam shanena tadabhuda sadisha riktam bhasvam hutam kuhakaradam evoktamushya. It is like sowing seeds in barren land, putting oblations in ashes, moving a magic wand in the air to get something. It is all useless. So devotee understands that whatever I have, it is by the mercy of the Lord. He is never puffed up. Prabhupada writes there, one should not be proud of the borrowed plumes. Prabhupada writes here, a devotee should never be puffed up by the material power He should know that the material power is the result of one's past good activities. There is nothing spiritual in that. The skills we have, the material capabilities we have, it is all the result of past good karma. We should use all of them in Krishna's service, but one should not be proud of them. So these two brothers, they were so very wonderful, humble souls. So Mahaprabhu is saying, Uttama hoiya hina kori manaho apanare, achire koribe Krishna tomare uddhare. Eto kohiyami abe bidaye tar dila, gamana kale sanatan praheli kohila. Now, after speaking to them in this way, I bade them farewell. And as I was leaving, Sanatan Goswami, he paheli kohila. He spoke in a very, uh, just like quiz, puzzle. Not directly. He spoke in a very cryptic way. He said, it is not appropriate for you to go to Vrindavan, followed by thousands of people. It is not good. Mahaprabhu says, just see the humility of Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord. But he is playing the role of a devotee here. He says, although I heard it, I did not pay it any attention. He is Supreme Lord. He is all knowledgeable. He is omniscient. But Lord shows how he is dependent on his devotees. Just like it comes in Bhagavatam. When Vidurji meets Uddhav, Uddhav is telling him, I'm just amazed. It really hurts me to remember how Krishna would ask me for my advice, not for the namesake. He would very intently hear. He would follow. And then he said, I'm really amazed how Lord works in this way. Karmanani hasya bhavo bhavasite durga shrayothari bhayat palayanam kalatmanoyat pramadayutashrama swatman rate khidyati dhir vidamiha. Uddhav is telling, I'm just amazed to see how Krishna behaves in such a wonderful way. He's asking me, he's asking ordinary living entity, he's Supreme Lord. And he listens to it. That is very amazing. So that's what Mahaprabhu is doing here also. He's saying, I heard, but I didn't pay attention. But later, next morning when I left, I reached Kanainatishala, and there in the evening, at that night, I started contemplating what Sanatan said. What was the need for Mahaprabhu to contemplate after one day? First of all, he knew what is happening, what will happen, but still, Lord's pastimes are such that he sets wonderful examples. Contemplate on every instruction given by the devotees, whoever they may be. We should understand, if some very sincere devotee is giving instructions, please contemplate. We should never just show off. Oh, I know. Who is he? Later in this next chapter, Mahaprabhu says, Sanatan Mukhe Prabhu More Shikhaila. Krishna taught me through Sanatan's mouth. Krishna spoke to me. That is how a devotee sees Krishna's hands everywhere. We see in the life of Prabhupada, when Prabhupada, he was writing these articles and pamphlets. Somebody said, what is the use of writing these pamphlets? People will read and throw them away, write books. Prabhupada took it as the instruction given by Krishna, write books. So Mahaprabhu, he is considering, oh, maybe Krishna is teaching me. He contemplated. And he said, I decided that Sanatan has spoken very well. And he started thinking, I'm traveling with such a huge crowd of devotees. What will people say? People will say, here is another imposter. They'll rebuke me, they'll make fun of me. Durlabha Durgama say Nirjana Vrindavan Ekaki Aiva Kiva Sangha Ekajan. I began to consider that Vrindavan is a very solitary place. It is not difficult to reach there. Durgama Nirjana, invincible. So therefore I should go alone or with one or two people. That's it. Because Mahaprabhu, because Madhavendra Puri, he went alone. And because he went alone, he was meditating there. Krishna came in the form of a cowherd boy and gave darshan. So therefore, I should go alone. Because Mahaprabhu was thinking, I am going to Vrindavan with thousands of people. It is like a magician going with such a great pomp. Certainly not good. I should not go to Vrindavan with so many men. Ekaki aiva kiva sange vrityeka jan tabete shubhaye Vrindavanera gaman. So my journey to Vrindavan will be beautiful only if I go with one or two people. That's all. Ekaki aiva, either go alone or sange ekajan. एक आदमी को लेके जाए बस. Then only I'll be able to appreciate Vrindavan. Now, I thought I'm going with soldiers and beating drums. Thousands of people are going. So he started condemning. Mahaprabhu said, I condemned myself. Fire upon me. I became very agitated and therefore returned back. I left all the devotees and I brought only few, 5 or 6. Now, again he is asking permission. Now he is asking their advice. Just like Krishna is asking advice from Uddhava, Mahaprabhu is again asking advice from all the devotees. Now you tell me, all of you be pleased with me and please advise me, how can I go to Vrindavan without any impediments? Tell me. It is impossible. It's very difficult. You all tell me. And then Mahaprabhu speaks another very, very interesting emotion. He says, you know why I could not go to Vrindavan? Because I offended Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar chhadigenu iho dukha paila sei hetu Vrindavana jaite narila. Gadadhare Gadadhar chhadigenu. I left Gadadhar and he became so very unhappy. Dukha paila tha, iho dukha paila. Because of that, I could not enter Vrindavan. Say hetu Vrindavan jaite nani. So Mahaprabhu is showing us nobody can enter into the pastimes of Krishna. Nobody can advance in the practice of bhakti if he or she offends a devotee. Of course, this is not an ordinary pastime, but that is the instruction which Mahaprabhu is giving to all of us. Gadadhar chhadigenu eho dukha paila sei hetu Vrindavan jaite nari. That's why I could not go to Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu is showing by his example, if you find a great devotee, then it is so very difficult to advance, to go to Vrindavan. So Gadadhar Pandit, he became very nourished hearing these words of Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Immediately he fell at the feet of Mahaprabhu And in his humility he says, Tumi jaha jaha raha taha Vrindavan, taha Yamuna Ganga Sarva Tirthagan. Oh my Lord, wherever you stay, Tumi jaha jaha raha sahi Vrindavan, that is Vrindavan. That is where Ganga, Yamuna, and all the places of pilgrimage are there. In the beginning only, Gadadhar Pandit said the same thing. Wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. Kshetra Sannyas Mora Jaukar Satal. Wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. To help with my vow, Kshetra Sannyas. Tabu Vrindavan Yaha Loka Shikhaite. Seita Karibo Tomar Ye Iloe Chitte. You don't need to go to Vrindavan, oh my Lord. But Tabu Vrindavan Jaha Loka Shikhaite. You are going to Vrindavan just to teach people in general that one should go to Vrindavan. Otherwise, you will do whatever you think is best, oh my Lord. It is best for people to follow your uh, principles, your ideal example. So therefore, you are showing this. Prabhupada writes in the purport. Yet this was also expressed by Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Previously, we have heard in Rath Yatra. Mahaprabhu says, Anne Hriday man moraman Vrindavan vane vane ek parijani. He says, for others, their heart and their mind are different. For me, my mind is Vrindavan. But just to teach people, he visited Bhauma Vrindavan. And Prabhupada writes, in this way, Lord instructed everyone to visit Vrindavan Dham, which is a very holy place. Then Prabhupada goes on describing how materialists, they have a material vision towards Vrindavan. They see, oh, Vrindavan is such an unclean place, unclean city, monkeys and dogs and sewage, garbage lying everywhere. Prabhupada writes, sometime ago, a materialist person asked me, why are you living in Vrindavan? Of all the places, why you have selected to spend your days in Vrindavan after retiring? Prabhupada says that he doesn't know. Such people, they don't know what is Vrindavan. Vrindavan is not an ordinary place. It is a representation of the spiritual world. Aradhya Bhagwan Brajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam. It is a abode of Supreme Lord Himself. So if somebody goes to Vrindavan with material vision, he can never get advantage of Vrindavan. Yasyatma buddhi gunape tridhatuke swadhi kalatradi shubhoma ijyadhi yattirtha buddhi salilena karichit janeshu abhiggeshu saiva gokhara. If somebody thinks this body is made up of three dhatu and this body is all in all, my relatives are all in all. Some people have Atma Buddhi. Atma Buddhi, my body is all in all. Swadhi Buddhi. Swadhi Buddhi means my family is all in all for me. Kalatradi, children, wife, relatives, they are all in all for me. Tirtha Buddhi, some people they go to holy places just to take bath, take darshan and come back. Some people they think my place of birth is worshipable. Home ijyadhi. This is all a very, very lower type of mentality. These people are not very intelligent. They are like cow and asses. They are dull. They are not getting the maximum advantage of going to Vrindavan because they are seeing Vrindavan from material point of view. Such people, they think, oh, this is not an ordinary, this is not an actual Vrindavan. It has become contaminated. Prabhupada writes that Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he advised and through his disciples, he renovated their Vrindavan. Yet he himself found many places. Radhakund, Shyamkund, it was found by Mahaprabhu. And then he sent many devotees headed by Rup Sanatana Goswami. Before that, Loknath Goswami went, Bhugar Goswami went. They all excavated, found so many places in Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu instructed Rup Sanatana to develop Vrindavan so that people in general can come. Tumi koriha bhakti shastrera prachar, Mathuraya lupta tirthera koriha uddhar. Vrindavane Krishna Seva Vaishnava Achar Bhakti Smriti Shastra Kori Ha Prachar. These are the four instructions Mahaprabhu gave. Write books, excavate holy places, construct temples, and establish the Vaishnava principles, Vaishnava etiquettes. Then Prabhupada writes that in Vrindavan currently there are more than 5,000 temples, but still we are building another temple of Krishna Balram because there is no prominent Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavan. So we are making this huge temple so that people can get attracted to Gaur Nitai, Radha Krishna, Krishna Balaram. And ordinarily people when they go to Vrindavan, they think Radha Krishna lila, Rasa lila, that is the highest. They jump into that. But it is not easy to enter in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. By mercy of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, one can enter into the pastimes of Krishna. He no nitai bine bhai Radha Krishna paite nai. If Nityananda Prabhu is not there, how can one enter into the pastimes of Radha and Krishna? If Mahaprabhu is not there, how can one enter? But some people they engage in material activities in Vrindavan. That is very much against the teachings of Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada would tell many times, these monkeys in Vrindavan, because they did some mistakes, some sins in past life in Vrindavan, now they have got this body and this is their last life. So those who are Prakrita Sahajiyas, those who are materialistic devotees, they do materialistic activities in Vrindavan and the result is they become more implicated in material life. They may have to take birth as animals in Vrindavan. And then Prabhupada goes on to describe how the greatest of the devotees, the eternal Brajvasis like Swarup Damodar Goswami, never came to Vrindavan. So many devotees, Prabhupada takes the name of so many devotees. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Haridas Thakur, Srivas Pandit, Shivananda Sen, Ramananda Rai, Shikhi Mahiti, Madhavi Devi, Gadadhar Pandit, never came to Vrindavan. So it is not an ordinary thing. Just go to Vrindavan and see Vrindavan and come back. But there are foolish people. They think we are going to Vrindavan. The Prakrit Sahajiyas, Prabhupada writes about those who are materialistic people, mental speculators, Mayavadis. They go to Vrindavan, they take darshan and they think, oh, we have taken darshan of Vrindavan. But only a real devotee can appreciate Vrindavan. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santas Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Only by the devotees whose eyes are anointed with the salve of love. So many great devotees. Prabhupada writes the name of Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya, Jagannath Das Babaji, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. They always engaged in Nam Bhajan. They were in Vrindavan. They were living in Vrindavan always. Because Vrindavan is not a state, it is a place. It is not a place, it is a state of consciousness. Prabhupada writes, currently, our members, they are staying in various cities and they are staying sometimes in opulent temples. But wherever they are staying, they are doing Sankirtan always. They are living in Vrindavan. They are not living anywhere else. Yatra gayanti madbhaktat tatra tisthami narada. नाहं तिष्ठामि वैकुंठे योगिनां हृदयेषु वा यत्र गायन्ति मद्भक्ता तत्र तिष्ठामि नारद. So when Mahaprabhu spoke like this, Gadadhar, he took the opportunity. He said, Mahaprabhu, now Chaturmas has started. Please stay for 4 months, and then after the 4 months are over, you can do whatever you want. You can go. You are free to go wherever you like. क्या करेंगे? Mahaprabhu, he accepted. He stayed for 4 months, and all the devotees, they were also very happy. They also said, yes, Mahaprabhu, please stay for 4 months, and then you go. Prataprudra Maharaj, when he heard this, he also became very happy. Mahaprabhu is staying for 4 more months here. So that day, Gadadhar Pandit extended the invitation for lunch. Mahaprabhu went and took lunch, and all the devotees were very happy. Bhikshate panditera sneha prabhura swadan manushera shakte dui nayaye varnan. He says, manushera shakte dui. In these two things, Gadadhar Pandit's affection for the Lord and Mahaprabhu's tasting the prasad of Gadadhar Pandit, it is impossible for any ordinary human being to describe this. यही मत गौर लीला अनंत अपार संक्षेपे कहिए कहा ये नयाये विस्तार. So in this way, the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, they are ananta apar. They are unlimited and they are unfathomable. Nobody can understand. Therefore, Kaviraj Goswami says, I am just writing in brief. Sankshepe Kohila. I cannot describe everything in full. I am just writing them in brief. Because even if Ananta describes with his thousands of mouths, still he cannot describe the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. सहस्र बदने कोहे अपने अपने अनंत तबु एक लीलार्ते हो नहीं पाए अंत. Even if Ananta Shesh describes one pastime of Mahaprabhu, not all the pastimes, even one pastime of Mahaprabhu cannot be described by 1,000 mouths of Ananta Shesha. Nandam vidamyamami muneyograjaste Maya balasya purushasya kuto varaye Gayan gunandashishatanan adideva Sheshodhunapi samavastanasya param. Since beginning of the creation, Ananta Shesh is singing the glories of the Lord. He has not come to an end so far. Nobody can count the glories of Krishna or Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Kaviraj Goswami ends this chapter by offering respects to Rup and Raghunath. Shri Rupa Raghunath Padeyarash Caitanya Caritāmrta Kahe Krishna Das. So that is the end of this chapter. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srī Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.